Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Peak Martial Arts Team Stick Sparring League, the PMA TSSL, where we have another exciting match to bring to you today. We have the Black Bears taking on the Snow Leopards. All right, before we dive into the action, we're going to go over a couple things because we actually started the show on time this go around. So we're going to kind of talk a little bit about stick sparring and what it is. We're going to have 6 matches today. Each contestant will spar their opponent twice, and the points are going to be decided by who makes contact first in a legal striking area. The judges will then stop the fighters and award the points. Legal contact being anywhere that is not the non-weapon hand from the elbow to the fingers, the neck, or the groin. Everything else is a legal target, and if hit, will be awarded a point. Other prohibited actions would be dropping a weapon, which would award a point to the opponent. And other than that, they're going to go at it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Points are going to add up, and so whichever team has the most cumulative points at the end is going to take home the victory. Last week, we saw the Black Bears take a win over the Red Pandas. We're going to see if today the Snow Leopards can put them back down. All right. Today, we have a very, very, very special guest joining us on the commentator booth. This man is not only one of my absolute longtime friends in martial arts. I think we met over 10, maybe 12, 13 years ago. And I don't know if he knows this, right? I think I might have told him before, but he is one of my biggest inspirations when I started to develop my own style in stick sparring. So please welcome to the desk, 6th degree black belt, Master Apprentice, going for his mastership title this year's at Globals, Mr. Dylan Cantrell. Boom.
Hello, Mr. and all. Hello, Peak Martial Arts, the Team Stick Sparring League.
I tell you what, man, he is coming in dressed to the 9, putting me to shame as far as
we got to do it right. You and me both, man. We got to do it for the kids. We're going to do it up. We're going to make this a great experience. And plus, how often do we get to dress up? We're using it in our PJs, so I figured I'd put on some clothes for you here.
Well, we appreciate it. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for the kind words. I really appreciate that. I'm a bit of a wild stick sparrer, and so I'm glad that my influence has done some good. Because I think the past couple of times you've beaten me up in stick sparring. So
in traditional sparring.
But I'm excited, man. This is such a great thing that you're doing. I've been watching the matches, watched last week's match, so I'm really excited to see if the Black Bears can keep their streak going.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So tell us real quick, tell us about your stick sparring and what you like to do and what you like to see whenever you're watching stick sparring.
Sure, yeah. I just really like the free flow of stick sparring. How kind of loose you can get with it. With traditional sparring, you really have to be careful with that defense. Just with how fast people's legs are. But with that stick, you have a couple other options here for blocking. Not the stick, the arm. So I'm really big about blocking and countering. That's what I love to see, as well as maybe just some really good movement. Nice flowy movement. As we spar in and out. And then just quick strikes, that's the whole point of this thing. It's bam. That's what we want to see. Some of those fast strikes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And so today our featured matchup is actually going to be the second contestant. So we have 1st degree black belt Rashawn taking on purple belt Miss Ranvi. And
all right.
What's really exciting about this is, when we're talking about these matchups, we have a lot of factors that go into it, right? Rashawn being a black belt absolutely has the experience factor. He's been doing it for a long time. And what's really very exciting is Rashawn actually went through the entire Mugi program, got all the way to Mugi black belt, moved up, went all the way to 1st degree black belt. He's done 1 midterm so far. So when it comes to experience, he's got 7 years that he's been with us.
There you go.
Whereas Ranvi hasn't been with us obviously for as long, but she comes in, to our Friday night fight class. So she's been doing extra training and sparring with me, sparring with our instructors, sparring with other students. And she's definitely got the height and reach advantage over Rashawn here. So this matchup should be a very, very exciting matchup to go. Now, I don't know if you saw last week, Rashawn loves to block. he loves to block and kind of come under with these body strikes. And so I'm going to be very curious to see how well that holds up with Robbie.
Yeah, well, if she's Robbie's coming to classes and is starting to learn that strategy, hopefully she starts to learn how to adjust to her partner, right? I think that's going to be big in this for Robbie. But the one thing that we can't teach. Height. So that reach is that's always a killer for some of us short guys.
Now let me ask you this, sir. Speaking of which, how do you go about transitioning from drills to live sparring? Because that is always, to me, the hardest thing to do is like, okay, I drill this, but when you get into live sparring, you just kind of revert to like what's natural. So how do you make that transition kind of mentally and physically?
Right. Yeah. I was actually having a meeting with my employees, my instructors earlier today, talking about a drill that I made last week that just didn't translate well, and it just didn't work. And so it's something tough even for somebody like us who run schools, run classes, and has been doing so for so long. But I think the big thing is just to try to make sure that when you're training as a student, that you really remember that drill and you try to practice that exact thing the next time you get into a training match, right? When you're sparring in class, don't just revert. Make yourself do those things that are uncomfortable. And we should be doing that whether it's stick sparring or regular sparring. Sometimes you just spar with your left leg in front because, man, I got to work on it. Sometimes you say, I'm only going to punch today because I got to work on it. And that's the way I think that true fighters and true martial arts look at this, especially sparring in class, is that sparring in class is not the competition. We want to do the things because all of us are a little bit competitive and want to win even in the class, right? But we have to remember that sometimes doing those things that are tough for us is what makes us better.
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there with that last part. Whenever you really want to work on a drill, you can't worry about winning. You have to worry about applying this drill. You're going to take some losses, trying to add in that new technique or that new strategy, but like eventually you get more used to it, and then it starts taking off, and then it transitions well into your main game. But today we're not worrying about that. Today we're worrying about winning, and it looks like everyone's getting lined up and getting ready to start. So we're going to be getting into the action here now. Oh, here we go. They're bowing in, and we are going to get after it. So, like I said, we've got the Snow Leopards on the left. We've got the Black Bears on the right, and they've tapped gloves, and we're getting ready into the action. We've got 3 judges in there, Mr. Hyatt, Mr. Exum, that joined us last week, and this time we have Mr. Lewis stepping in while Senior Master Bolduc is out.
All right. 2 tall folks to start. Let's get it.
All right. So we've got first-degree black belt going to be testing for second degree here in June. Liam for the Snow Leopards, and Kinsey for the Black Bears, who is a camo belt.
Wow.
So again, another one of those experience versus comes to fight night,
Hey, I was about to say though, your camo belt there is moving really well. I like the footwork right off the bat.
So you've watched me spar probably more than just about anybody else, through competition. So I always like to see them. Oh no!
Oh, big disarm.
Dropped weapon right at the start, and the judges caught it this time, which is good. But I would like to, do you see me in these, can you see a reflection of my sparring in how they spar?
Oh, definitely. Just the footwork alone, you've got killer footwork, right? And I'm sure that you train on that, and train your students on that, every day. And so that's the one thing that I've noticed. These guys' footwork, their movement is spectacular. And I'm sure that is all due to their spectacular instructor.
We appreciate it. It goes for all of our instructors, So we're at 2-4, 3-4. Kinsey got a little bit of a lead. Liam is coming back a little bit. Liam was our MVP last season.
Okay.
He was kind of the sleeper guy because, where they didn't win the whole thing, he carried his team really, really well. So this being his first match, we're really excited to see how he does coming in.
The head honcho, everybody's gonna be gunning for him now. They know what they're getting into. Man, she's aggressive though. I like it. She's fearless, which is one thing you kind of have to be while you're doing this stick sparring. You're gonna get scored on, and so I think it's important that you have to be aggressive. I mean, we've watched tons of people spar, and that kid who just sits back, where if they're really good at blocking and countering, they can do it. Usually, it's that person who's a little bit more aggressive, who's willing to go out there and try to get that first point, who you'll see get 10 points faster, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
Nice.
it's really interesting because last week Kinsey went up against Spencer, and both of them are really aggressive, and so they just kind of like went at it. And Kinsey had to become defensive, where Liam is defensive. So now you're seeing Kinsey have to adapt to be aggressive.
There you go.
So here's our feature matchup. We've got Romby on the left. We got Rashawn on the right.
All right.
And Rashawn's team's got a good lead, got a 4-point lead. So we got to see what happens with Romby.
Oh, split decision on the voting. Yeah, I can see that though. They're going at it. They're both going straight forward into it. He has that hand up, that left hand up, though, really trying to, like you said, get that block as he's coming in. That's really smart for him. Good judging there. Yeah.
Whoa. Fast. So this is what I want to explain. We didn't touch on this last time. You see a lot of split decisions between the judges, and this is because everyone's got a different angle they're watching at. We have a different angle we're watching at, even on this camera. So sometimes, we'll see and be like, oh man, I thought this person should have had that. But, it's all about the angle and at the moment.
Oh yeah, and it can be hard to judge let alone the little kids who are doing it. It moves so quickly. And trying to decide if this person got there a split second beforehand. You've got to be really patient with the judges in this. It's a lot tougher than people give it credit for.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Nice, good defense. So hey, there you go. Good blocking and countering
so far. Keeping that kind of consistent lead. Romby's getting it down a little bit. I would like to see more footwork from Romby. This is what we work on. What sometimes she decides to forget is that footwork. That footwork makes you so fast.
Yeah, she hasn't moved out of those like 2 or 3 squares right there. That's the first time I think she stepped in that black square there. Where that first match we definitely saw them moving, switching feet. These two are definitely just more clashing into each other a little bit. Good strikes when they do so. Catching that distance. But there we go. Now we're moving around a little bit.
There we go. A little circle, a little hesitation.
And we were talking about this, about having that experience to change what you're doing. And we're seeing that Rashawn here is blocking and countering because it keeps working for him, right? Romby, maybe a little bit less experience, just kind of goes that move that they really, really enjoy, that Rashawn has kind of figured out. It looks like she was able to close the gap by a point during that match.
Target recognition is for sure a thing we need to work on. But she did come in with 1 extra point because now there's a 4-point difference instead of the 5-point difference. So, doing what she needs to do, winning the match and getting some points. Ooh, Evan goes for the leg. There we go. So these are our 2 brand new spars. These guys have only been sparring for about a month.
Wow, huge for them to be out here doing this. And he just got
Ooh, good one.
Kid from the Black Bears just got smacked right in the head and just jumped right back out there. I appreciate it. Oh, big disarm. But I appreciate, getting smacked with these, even though they're not a hard stick, man, it pops on that head, especially when you get hit in the ear. So I don't blame any kid who gets a little put out by getting smacked with all these things. But these two look fearless. I dig it.
In the heat of the moment, too, like sometimes, you try to control it, but like when both people are just going, it's hard sometimes with as fast as this goes.
Right, 100%. Yeah. Nice.
So now it looks like Logan's actually taking the lead for his team a little bit.
Very good. He keeps he's tagging him first.
But they've got the lead now coming in.
Oh, he keeps tagging him. It's that reach. There you go. He tried to get that hand up. There we go. Good. Nice.
There's that adjustment you kind of talked about. He was going in with that hand down, going with that hand up. Now we get a block. So the thing about here too is like, especially with brand new spars, like Logan's just got a little bit more of a reach, and if Evan could, bait that out a little bit, then
Right, yeah, with
instead of
a
always
blocking
just going
counter,
in,
an
oh, look at
evading
that, he
counter.
gets a point there.
There you go.
Whoa, stop time.
Whoa.
Ooh, a little rough from the judges. Remember, if we need to fix something, stop time and fix it. Oh no, now he's walking, he's getting tired. So that cardio is definitely something we got to work on a little bit.
All right, they get the rest now. Again, the two young, not as experienced spars, but they got in there. They did their thing. They obviously have strikes that they enjoy. Now we're back to the big kids here. Already the footwork, they're ready. The hands are up. We see two different stances here. Your camo belt kind of switching between the two, but putting that blocking hand in front. Your black belt all stick in front. Nice, good speed.
So now the Black Bears have some room to catch up. Kenji's doing a good job going right into it. Whoa. There we go.
Love it. Double stick, right? We do all these double kicks and then kick, punch, and sparring. Got it back after round one. Yeah.
I don't know
we
what
talk
happened
about the
today.
double kicks all the time and combo punches, but so much that we see, especially kids, kind of go in with that one single strike. So it's really good to see these kids kind of bang, going in with 2 or 3 strikes. Keep sticking.
I don't know what happened when they all came in the school, if everybody just put butter on their hands, but dropped weapons tonight. Whoa!
Oh no! Oh! Yeah. Something's going on in Dothan, Alabama. Okay, yeah, we got sweaty palms.
I
think we got mom's spaghetti for dinner. Okay, yeah.
That evens up the score right now.
Wow, huge, good stuff. Bringing it back. The time. Love the excitement here.
So we have been working in class that bursting motion. So I'm really glad to see her, being able to launch in that fast.
She's definitely doing
what we've been working in class.
You can see she kind of shifts that weight just to her back leg for a second, and then pushes in the long, bam, straight strike.
Ooh, okay, getting the legs. It's always hard with that sort of style of that. We both just go, and because it's so 50-50 on who gets the point.
Yeah, and you and I talk about all the time about this type of judging. It is hard, but I think it'd be best if we just defaulted to that no point. If we really don't know what happened, you gotta default to nobody scored because it wasn't clean enough. The goal is to show clean stick sparring. Nice job. Great
fight between those two. Kenji definitely was able to bring it back, but I think as soon as Mr. Lewis moves a little bit, the Leopards still have the lead right now.
All right.
Which has them going into a good spot in the second half. Rashawn's got a lot of work to do to potentially try to get some points. And he starts off good.
There you go.
Strike to the head.
He had a good block, had his hand right there. The just kind of sitting on top of the stick, not grabbing it, but actually just kind of putting it there and counter striking. I like it. That's good, smart sparring. You can't grab it, but there's nothing saying that you can't kind of put your hand right there and control it while it's in your within your reach.
I think if Rambi could circle out a little bit so more of the judges can kind of see that under shot that she's throwing.
Oh, definitely. In fact, if she circled to her left right now, towards Mr. Hyatt there, Rashawn is really focusing on blocking with this left hand here, but she circles to the other side while he swings low, catching up top. And he's been pretty consistent this match, scoring these points.
What I like to see from Rashawn right now, too, is the fact that he's doing a little bit better about keeping the stick in front of him as opposed to last week.
Another drop. Man.
Oh.
We got to get some sticky stuff for these hands. Yeah. And he's done a good job, I think, now that they're up, of being a little bit less aggressive. I think in that first match, he was really just kind of going into his opponent who has that longer reach, which is always dangerous. So I think he's making a smart decision here to see just that forward motion, then backward motion. Yeah. That's smart sparring. I like it. Oh, that's a close one. That's a close one. What are we at?
One.
All right. No points.
Man, I tell you. So far, this is extremely exciting. Really good match so far. Man, oh man, I wish I had another angle because I would love to see the other side of this.
The other side, right? Yeah. Well, next season, we'll upgrade to a multi-camera show.
More angles.
More angles, some slow-mo, some VAR.
Get some instant replays in here.
Right,
challenges. Pull the challenge flag.
Hey, good match, you two. That was
great
excellent.
Great match. Yeah. I like that because that was a very a consistency in Rashawn versus explosiveness from Robbie. Robbie was able to get some headshots in, get some 2 points in. But just a consistent 1 point per red, 1 point per red, 1 point per red.
Exactly. And sometimes that's what it is, Yeah. Especially if you're up, you don't have to score 3 points.
Nice. All right, Logan's got some work to do. And Evan's got to hold his ground. They were in this position last week against Anakin, and Evan was able to hold the ground to keep the lead. So now we're going to see what happens with this match. Where we got 2-2. That's 4 points. That's getting a whole lot.
Whoa. Oh, my gosh. How they keep it. Oh, yeah. He keeps moving in. At this point, it might be smarter to try to stay back. Not move into this kid with the longer arms. But he's aggressive. As a little guy, I appreciate it. Sometimes you got to try to get the win. Whoa! Jump strike. Are they giving the 3? Okay, only 2. He was in the air. I'm not sure if he made contact when he was in the air, but I was hoping for that cool pinky to come out.
I'm excited to talk to Evan after this because, man, he looks tired. He looks tired. And he's kind of walking in. That explosiveness is gone. And if he could just kind of just go explode a little bit faster, explode a little bit more.
Right. When you said that walking, right? I was talking to my students about that this week. And telling them we don't walk while we spar. The worst thing you can do is 1 foot in front of the other. Just shuffle a little bit. Just move. Hop if you have to. But don't walk. It's so bad for your footwork to do that next thing you want to do. All right, 2 points. Back up here was at the end.
Come on. You're killing time. You got to call that. You got to recognize. You got to call.
Oh, man, that might be the dagger right there. And this is what happens when you get tired is that the defense goes out the door, right? The first thing that happens when you get tired is hands come down. You quit thinking about protecting yourself. You're like, I just need to hit them a little bit more. Yeah. That's why those last championship rounds can always be the toughest.
Great
job. Good stuff. Great comeback.
What a match. What a round. What a competition. The Snow Leopards were able to take it there at the end. By a good margin, setting the Black Bears at 1-1, setting the Snow Leopards at 1-0, and then we have the Red Pandas obviously at 0-1. So depending on what happens next week, we could be starting the exact same way we started this past last season at a 1-1-1.
Tight competition. Just goes to show, especially when you're competing against the same people, that you start to learn. But that's what fighting is about, right? Is you do have to learn from the people around you, learn the people you're going to fight, and be a smarter fighter, right? You can't teach height. The speed and strength take time to develop. But you can start to learn strategies in a single day that'll help you out in your next match.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And going back and watching the tapes, that's a big, whenever it comes to even our level, especially the best way for me and you to practice, honestly, is just recording ourselves and critiquing ourselves. That's one of the few ways that we get to train on a regular basis. And go back and watch the tapes, watch your match, win and lose, and see what you can do better is extremely important part of this sport.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then taking, the asking the people around you, how did that look, and ask them to be honest, right? My instructors, my employees, who are all late teens, early 20s. I tell them, hey, watch me, please, and not watch me because I look great and I want you to see how to do it. No, watch me and tell me what I need to improve on. As you get higher and higher rank, you have less and less people telling you this is what you need to do to improve. And so any eyes that you can get, whether it's physical eyes or a video, and you critique it yourself, it's super important to your own training.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because like the biggest thing too is like, on Friday nights, obviously I can't spar right now, but normally on Friday nights I spar with all of these guys. We stay, all these students, we stay and we spar. We have a sparring night, and we get after it. And what they don't realize is that they are actually my best practice.
Right.
I don't have to spar my level people or my ranked people to get really good practice in. They are my good practice. So I want them to watch and tell me what I need to work on. What's working against me. If that, and like that's a huge part of it. And kind of that confidence is what needs to kind of show through this.
100%.
So we're waiting on our Victor and Liam to come and talk us out. All right, he's back here. Come on, Liam. Liam?
Oh, yes, sir.
Come on.
Snow Leopards.
Come have a seat. Oh. Liam, this is 6th degree black belt, Master Apprentice, Mr. Dylan Cantrell.
What's up, Liam? How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine.
Good. That's a big win, man. That was a big win for your team. I heard you were the MVP last season.
Yeah, I really liked last season, so I came back again to try to win this time.
I like it. I like the attitude, man. Well, hey, you're off to a good start, 1-0 against a team that won their first match. You had a tough one out there. I mean, as far as competitors go, your competitor, even though only a camo belt, fast, long arms. How'd you feel getting in there? How'd you feel in your match against her?
Well, I already knew Kenzie was like a really good sparrer, so I've been trying to remember how she's been sparring, and it was real tough.
Hey, that's exactly what Mr. Null and I were just talking about. Remembering your past opponents, learning from what they do in class, right? And that's what it takes to be a great sparrer. You're about to get a 2nd degree black belt, which means that you've already been doing that for quite a long time, man. And that's what you have to do every day. Especially if you're trying to be the champion, start watching these videos back, learn what they did last year, and keep beating up like you did today.
Thank you, sir.
Of course, yes, sir. Yeah. So as far as your team goes, did you think that there were some things that your team can work on specifically?
Not specifically. Did I see anything we needed to work on? Maybe a little bit of blocking.
There you go. Yeah. I noticed that your team was a little bit more flat-footed sometimes. And maybe the other team was a little bit more light-footed. They kind of had that explosive, but you guys obviously did a really good job of blocking and countering and having maybe a little bit of a reach advantage in a couple of those matches. But I'm excited to see what you guys are going to do for the rest of the season here.
I am too.
Good deal. All right, thank you, Liam, for joining us. Well, Mr. Cantrell, do you have any final thoughts on today's matches and on our stick sparring league as a whole?
Hey, I'm just excited to have been a part of it. I like what you're doing here. I think even small things like this, at the local level, is how we push martial arts. The martial arts is one of the best things you guys can do for your kids, for yourself. I wake up every day thinking, how can I make myself better? That's not just how can I make myself a better kicker or puncher. That's how I can make myself a better cook, a better husband, a better person, right? A better business owner. And so, I think that what we're doing here and what you're doing here specifically, kind of pushing the martial arts, pushing GTMA, pushing stick sparring, and showing that this is how you get better at things week by week, really shows what martial arts is all about. So I just want to give a big kudos to you, Mr. Null. Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you for putting this on. I think that the whole of our organization should be watching this and checking it out. And I'd like to see it grow even bigger, man.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much for joining us and being a very special guest. I've been super looking forward to having you on the show. As soon as I booked you, I was like, yes, this is going to be a great
Let's
episode.
go.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and being such a great commentator. That's going to wrap it up here for us in episode 2 of season 2 of the PMA TSSL, the Peak Martial Arts Team Stick Sparring League. We're going to catch y'all next Friday as the Snow Leopards try to follow and get another victory over the Red Pandas, who are looking to get their first win. Make sure you tune in and join us then. We really, really appreciate you guys. We'll see you later.